Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get started. We're going to ask you to stand as we post the colors. Please stand. You may be seated. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Carl Cruz, and I will be your Master of Ceremonies. Tonight, I will be wearing two hats. So first, as Vice Chair of the New Bedford Free Public Library Board of Trustees, it is my pleasure to welcome you to tonight's program celebrating 40 years of Cape Verdean Recognition. The library is pleased to house the Manuel A. Lopes archives. We are indebted to his children for this wonderful gift. Tonight, we will experience some of that collection in the exhibit celebrating Cape Verdean Recognition by our art curator and curator of tonight's exhibit, Ms. Janice Hodson. In the exhibit, you will also view items from the library's collection. As a member of the Cape Verdean Recognition Committee, we are pleased to honor both the living and deceased members whose 40 years ago felt it was important to recognize the Cape Verdean and their contributions to our community and country. During those 40 years, Cape Verdeans gained their independence from Portugal, and this year we celebrate our 37th anniversary of independence on July 5th. It is my pleasure to welcome to the podium our President, Mary Ann Rogers.
Thank you. We'll begin with a song by Candida Rose.
All right, now since this is a celebration, can I get everybody to put their hands together for me?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Candida. Yeah, I know with a rousing song like that, you've really awakened our souls, and I'm sure those who have gone on before us are looking down and praising with us. So we thank you for that wonderful song that speaks of our motherland. The mayor is running late, but he has sent over a proclamation, which I will read. City of New Bedford, Mayor Jonathan F. Mitchell, official proclamation, 2012 Cape Verdean Recognition Week. Whereas this year marks the 40th anniversary of Cape Verdean Recognition Week, sponsored by the Cape Verdean Recognition Committee, Inc., and whereas the honorary grand marshals for this year's parade will be the founding members, living and deceased, Manuel A. Lopes, chairperson, Teresa Almeida, Valentina Naru Almeida, Henry Barrows, John Brito, Stephanie Correa, Mary Cruz Easton, Edwin Livamento, Dorothy Lopes, Adalbert O. Naru, Antone J. Ramus, Lucille Ramus, and Joanna Ribeiro. And whereas this is the 40th anniversary Cape Verdean Recognition Parade, and the Cape Verdean Recognition Scholarship Committee has awarded over $130,000 in scholarships to deserving high school students, and will award $23,000 this year to 23 students. Whereas this is the 37th anniversary of the independence of the Republic of Cape Verde, and whereas the parish of Our Lady of the Assumption Church in New Bedford, the first Cape Verdean Catholic church in North America, celebrates its 107th anniversary this year, and whereas the main post office in New Bedford is named in honor of the Honorable George N. Layton, the first Cape Verdean American U.S. District Court Judge in the United States, and now therefore I, Jonathan F. Mitchell, Mayor of the City of New Bedford, do proclaim June 24th, 2012 through June 30th, 2012, Cape Verdean Recognition Week, and ask all our citizens to share in this celebration. Given this day, June 25th, 2012, Jonathan F. Mitchell, Mayor. As we begin to recognize our honorary grand marshals, I'm going to call our president up, but as I listened to Candida sing, all I wished for and could see, and some of you probably could still envision it, is to seeing Val Almeida and Stephanie Correa as the Cape Verdean folklore dancers. It would be nice if we could have those dancers back again in a parade. So, without further ado, here's Mary Ann Rogers.
Thank you, Carl. That was beautiful, Candida. Good evening, everyone. What a great night, because we have continued to celebrate Cape Verdean Recognition Week, and it's our 40th year for the parade. The founding members are an excellent example of what a difference a few people can make. Under the leadership of Manuel A. Lopes, the Census Committee was formed in 1972. The goal of the Census Committee was to have the words Cape Verdean placed in a special category of the 1980 Federal Census Form. This was accomplished in 1990. In 1973, the Census Committee was renamed the Cape Verdean Recognition Committee. The Cape Verdean Recognition Committee sponsored the parade and the Educational Aid Committee. It is with great pride that the present Recognition Committee honors the founding members tonight. So I think we can we'll start our presentations. Our first presentation is for Honorary Parade Marshal Manuel Lopes, who was the chairperson of the Recognition Committee, and a man with vision. Manuel Lopes devoted countless hours for the parade and Educational Aid Committee. You will definitely see this in the exhibit tonight. Can I have, is it Marlene that's going to come up? Oh, Anne Marie. The next honorary parade marshal is Teresa Almeida. Teresa Almeida was involved in Miss Furvat and was fondly known as the Mazuka Queen. Our next honorary parade marshal is Valentina Almeida. She was our consul of Cape Verde and a liaison with Portuguese government. Valentina did a lot anonymously. In Margaret. Our next parade marshal is Mr. Henry Barrows, who coordinated the parade for many years, I believe 20-plus years. The 1986 parade had 36 marching units, 5 marching bands, 3 drum and bugle corps. The parade lasted 2.5 hours. The parade had, well, you haven't heard the best. The parade had 1,200 participants marching, and in his spare time, he was involved with Miss Furvat. Our next parade marshal is Stephanie Correa, and she was the publicity chairperson for the Cape Verdean Recognition Committee and was on the original census committee. And I asked Stephanie just to give us a little anecdotal story. Stephanie?
Thank you. First of all, I don't know this young lady. I just recently met her, but the first introduction was with the mayor, and he said, "You're full of surprises." So because of that, I thought, I know that she's going to call me up here, so I better write something. But anyhow, I want to thank everybody, and this is really, really a great honor. You know, we started this with nothing, with just a dream, Manny Lopez's dream. He decided one day, you know, there's something wrong here because they don't know that we're here. We need to change that. So with this, he called Bonnie Frank and he called Ed Kennedy, and they came and they joined us, and they worked diligently to see if we could get our name on the census. And rightfully so, our parents had been here, they'd done so much, they developed a community, but nobody was noticing that. And Manny just worked and worked. He worked us to the bone. But with this, the Census Committee decided you need 10 years before you can change a census. Unfortunately, we had started 1972, 1973. They knew it, but no one said anything. So with this, they pacified us. They said, okay, we can't put you on the census, but there is a box there, and you can fill in other, or fill in Cape Verdean, or whatever your desire is. It wasn't much. It wasn't what we wanted, but it was a step in the right direction. Hopefully, I see now this year they're talking multicultural census, and it's way overdue, and hope we can be a part of that, because I would say that almost every family here has an interracial family today. We have a house full of blonde, blue eyes, and you name it, we got them. But yet they know that they're part Cape Verdean, and they're proud of it, and they're proud of their other ancestry, and we need to find a way to make everybody know that we're here, we've been here, we're going to be here, and we've done some great things. So again, thank you so much for this privilege. I hadn't expected it, but I'm thrilled, and thank you, and thank you.
Okay, our next honorary parade marshal is Mary Easton. She was on the Education Aid Committee and was involved with Miss Furvat. She has, her 2 daughters are here. Oh, 3 daughters, okay. Okay, our next parade marshal, Edwin Livramento, and he tells me he's 90 years old. Edwin coordinated the parade for many years with Henry Barrows, and the parade was known as an upbeat parade and a great cultural event. And I believe it was just a committee of 2, right? I know people helped you, but it was just a committee of 2. That's what I'm told.
Thank you.
The next parade marshal is Dorothy Lopes, and she was on the Educational Aid Committee. And I forgot one. I have to go back. Our next honorary parade marshal is John Brito. Mr. Brito was the executive secretary of the Educational Aid Committee. The first scholarships that were awarded totaled $276. Mr. Brito also designed the Cape Verdean American Veterans Association seal that is on your program tonight. Michaela? Our next honorary parade marshal is Alberto Naru. He was on the Recognition Committee and was commander of the Verdean Veterans. Ann? Honorary Parade Marshal Antone J. Ramus organized the, I was told that he was the person who really organized the first parade. I don't know if that's true, but I think Mr. Barrows was the one that told me, but he was involved with the parade. Honorary Parade Marshal Lucille Ramus, she was the secretary of the Recognition Committee. Can I have Tony and Wayne come up? Honorary Parade Marshal Joanne Ribeiro, and she was the president of the auxiliary during when the Recognition Committee was formed. And can I have the family for Joanne Ribeiro?
I just want to announce my mother also just celebrated her 90th birthday.
Oh, wow.
This past Sunday, the opening day of the ceremonies, and I'm sure you all wish her a happy birthday. And I want to thank you all for attending, and I accept this award on her behalf.
Okay, thank you. So thank you to all our parade marshals and to their families. I would like to thank everyone here who is honoring the parade marshals. I would like to thank the New Bedford Library for the exhibit and for archiving all the history. And, Carl.
I'd like to ask Janice Hodson, who is our art curator here at the library, to come forward. And also, she's going to tell you a little bit what you're seeing in the exhibit, because as I said earlier, not only do we have the archives from Manuel A. Lopes, we also have some things in our collection that some of you may have not seen before. And we hope from time to time, not only during Cape Verdean Recognition Week, but we'll be able to share more of these things. But as I said, we do really thank Manuel Lopes, who tirelessly cut out those things. So I hope there's a young person in the audience who is continuing to cut out so that we can add to this collection, because the only way that you can keep the story going is by having the material that backs up those stories. So this young lady here, I hope that she's going to continue that tradition. So let's have a warm welcome for Janice Hodson for the work that she's trying to do to keep this collection together.
Hi. I am the curator of the art collection at the library, but as the person who handles the exhibits, our changing exhibit space out here in the hall, I tend to work with a mixture of materials, sometimes materials from our art collection, but also from our archives. And included in our archives are some Cape Verdean material, a lot of scrapbooks and such, but predominantly, as you've seen, if you haven't seen the exhibit already, you will see, material from the family, donated by the family of Manuel Lopes. Mr. Lopes created I don't know how many scrapbooks from his work, starting with starting with, I know we have 6 boxes of material, scrapbooks, photo albums, newspapers, documenting what he felt was important to save related to the activities of the Cape Verdean Veterans Association, and then later the Cape Verdean Recognition Committee and the Cape Verdean, other Cape Verdean groups. There are clippings related to Cape Verdeans who rose to political prominence, Cape Verdeans who were important in the cultural fabric of not only the city but a larger context. And just some, fun materials like the pictures of the debutantes during the balls and the 60s fashion shows and things like that. So it's a nice resource, and it does constitute our largest component of Cape Verdean material right now. We also have a collection which is featured out there of materials that come from an organization that was founded in the 1920s apparently and existed at least through the 30s based on what we have, called the Cape Verde American Citizen Committee, who also created the Cape Verdean Famine Relief Committee. And there are collections of lantern slides documenting Cape Verdeans as well as some of the Azorean Islands. There are a lot of, the bulk of the survival of the documents themselves are things like the letters that this organization sent to prominent political figures, ranging from local political figures like Mark Duff to figures in Roosevelt's administration on behalf of changing the very restrictive and frankly xenophobic immigration laws that had been passed in the 1920s, and fighting for a consulate to be established on one of the Cape Verdean islands to try and ease the difficulty of immigration. And so they're an example in a small way of the political activities of some members of the Cape Verdean community. And then we have isolated materials, but we're always looking for more materials to flesh out the story. And as it was just said by Carl, it is important to continue, saving this material, preserving it, collecting it. Don't think it's of no value, because it is in the long term. Thank you.
So then we're going to be saving this program, because that's part of the collection tonight. The collection that she was talking to, some of you may even remember this gentleman, this last collection she was talking about, and that was donated to us by the family of Joaquin Burgle, who had Burgle Funeral Home. So that's where some of these documents that you see in the case in front of us. I'm going to recognize the Cape Verdean Recognition Committee. Again, Mary Ann Rogers, our president, Marilyn Gonsalves, vice president, Frank Barrows, treasurer. You can stand. Norma J. Bailey, clerk. Board of directors, Rick Brito, Diane Gomes, Dorothy Gomes, Joanna Gomes, Sylvia Gomes, Esquire, Gail A. Gonsalves, Cynthia G. Morris, Lorraine Ramus, Edward J. Rogers, Bruce Rose, our honorary member Emma Gomes, and Julie Hines Beck, and Eleanor Ponce, a member of our Scholarship Advisory. And our parade committee, I'll let you do that.
Okay, Dana Ribero's on our parade committee. And I don't think Andrea's here. And Frank Barrows and JoJo Gomes are the co-chairs of the parade this year. And Marilyn is our chair of the scholarship committee. And now I'll do my closing remarks. Well, I was going to do my closing remarks, and then I was going to have her do a song. And then we have refreshments. So I would like to thank everyone here honoring the parade marshals. And like I said before, thank you to the New Bedford Library for the exhibit and for archiving all the history. During the 40 years, I'm sure there were many people involved in keeping Cape Verdean recognition alive. The parade has never missed a year. I would like to acknowledge the late Stephen Cabral, Donald Gomes, and Edward Rogers for ensuring the parade was kept alive. I would also like to acknowledge, and I already did, Frank Barrows and JoJo Gomes. And I'd like to thank the present Recognition Committee. There was one more person that I forgot to introduce who's part of the parade committee. We've been together for about 20 years, and it's Marlene Barrows. Marlene, can you stand up? My apologies. I would like to now introduce Councilors Bruce Duart of Ward 4 and Councilor at Large Brian Gomes.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I said good evening, everyone. Good evening. That's the Cape Verdean way. That's the Creole way. One more time. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. It's a pleasure and an honor and a distinct honor to be here this evening. We have been asked to recognize some members that are the founding members of this Cape Verdean Recognition Committee. And 40 years has gone by. That's 4 decades, and that's a long time. And some people continue to keep the culture alive, keep the heritage alive in this city, keep it going, and it's because of their hard work and their commitment and dedication. But without these dozen people, this might not be possible today where everyone stands. So I'd like you to give them a round of applause. I've been involved in politics now about 20 years, serving the people of the city, and there's nothing more rewarding than this Cape Verdean Recognition Week, because this is a week when this whole community comes together, the people of Cape Verde, the people of this city, because I've said it before, and I'll keep on saying it. Everybody goes and lay out in the sun, and everybody wants to be Cape Verdean this weekend, okay? There's no doubt about it. And even after this weekend, they want to be Cape Verdean. Just ask them. You know, you look at them, are you Cape Verdean? Yeah, they'll tell you yeah. It's a magnificent thing that has gone on for 40 years, and to all those that have been involved and still involved, I congratulate you. My heart goes out to you on behalf of this entire city. Without this commitment, this dedication, we would not see this year after year, the most magnificent parade, the scholarships that go out, and then just so much more that this organization adds to it. And, you know, under the direction of Mary Ann and many others that are involved in this, we watch the hard work. Don't think it passes us just because we're marching down the parade in the parade. And Mr. Livamento, it is a pleasure to see you. I just seen you, and that is a pleasure to see you, sir. Good evening. And Eddie Livamento, you know, a man that stands out in my eyes in this community. I'm just a young boy running around Rick's Cleaners on the corner of Bedford and Acushnet Avenue. That's right, yeah, you all forget it? You want me to reminisce a little, huh? Johnny Papa's next door, little Jag and Linguiça, huh? Band club right across the street, go see Roy. I won't say why we had to go see Roy, okay, God bless him. Mom usually sent you to see Roy, and that's all the Creoles, you understand? Johnny Papa on Purchase Street, God bless him, and so many more that contributed. And you know, we got to share our community. To some of the young people that sit in this room, I realized what the Cape Verdeans were sharing, because back at that time, we had a 3-shift moss cutting tools that was just up the street that employed a lot of people, not only people of Cape Verdean or black or whatever. We had Portuguese, we had the Polish there, you had the Irish, and you know, they got a piece of that Cape Verdean community, whether it was eating jag, like I said, at Johnny's, or getting manchupa to go to take home. Come on, they don't come back every week on Wing Street for nothing, okay, because that passed down, all right, to the family, okay? Some might have been in the nurse home saying, you go get me some manchupa now. With that said, I want to turn the mic over to my colleague to, you know, present some citations. And we're going to present some citations to the founding members. And if their families are here, we would like them to step forward. And we like you to have these things as a keepsake. And it's recognizing what their commitment was 40 years ago to this community and to this city and what has transpired from that. And I would be remiss if I said, Candida, I walked in late, but I heard that beautiful voice as I got off the elevator. And it's always a pleasure, and thank you for everything you do. And everyone here, God bless you. Let's have a great weekend. Let's enjoy it. Let's share it with everybody, and everyone be safe. Thank you very much.
So how do I follow that, Brian? You know, it is awesome and also a pleasure to serve with Councilor Gomes as far as that's concerned. He represents our community well, and certainly we appreciate everything he does. And you know, Mr. Levermento, Butch Silva, you know, there are so many people and so many people that we can look up to as Cape Verdeans in this community and that we can be proud of. And we want to thank, you know, the committee for, to me, doing the best parade, whether it's the drum and bugle corps in the city. And Brian, you're right, folks come from everywhere to get our jag and our manchoop. And it's certainly a pleasure to be here to represent Week Candida. You are absolutely awesome, and we thank you for bringing us and continuing that Cape Verdean heritage through music. And we want to thank you for that. There's so many things and so many people we can thank, whether it's the committees for the Ernestina, and the list goes on and on. So with that being said, certainly we'd like to thank the people that have come before us, because of them, we are here today. Because of their leadership, because of their roles, because of what they made us respect and keep in our hearts, our heritage, and to give to our young people and our children, and that list goes on and on and on. So we thank the people who have come before us, and this is what this resolution is all about. Brian, excuse me.
I don't mean to interrupt my colleague, but I want to say something, because, you know, a lot of people think that, you know, we are just the elected officials, we're not into this community, we're not into things the way we're supposed to be. Let me tell you, we are. But let me tell you some people who paved the way for me and to be the city councilor that I am today, and opportunity for people like Bruce Duarte, even Ramona Silva, former Mary Barrows, and it goes on. Mary Barrows was one of the first that I served with on the city council, and I can remember her telling David Alves one night, you can't fit in my shoes, and you can't fit in her shoes, okay? And she was just a tough lady to get through. But I want to speak of a gentleman that is here, and whether he knows it or not, I have one of the highest respect for him, because he paved the way for people like myself to get elected, and that's Representative Thomas Lopes. Let's not ever forget that.
Thank you, Brian. I mean, we could go on for the rest of the night talking about, you know, because of them, I stand here today, and you know, it is humbling when you think about it. You know, because of folks that stood up and was proud to be who they were, you know, as far as that's concerned. I see Gary here, and you know, there are so many people that we can point to that we can look up to in our community, and the list goes on. So, before we go too much on the tangent, I'm going to read this resolution, and Brian, would you like to join me as far as handing them out with the names? Okay. New Bedford this is a New Bedford City Council resolution, official resolution. Be it hereby known to all that the City Council of New Bedford, Massachusetts, hereby offers its sincerest congratulations to Joanna Ribeiro in recognition of your commitment and dedication as a founding member of the Cape Verdean Recognition Committee On the 40th anniversary, the entire century extends its very best wishes on this memorable occasion and expresses a hope for continued good fortune. Given this 26th day of June, 2012, signed by the Council President, Steve Martins, Council at Large, Brian Gomes, and myself, Councilor Bruce Stewart Jr., and if either Joanna or a representative of our families here, we'd love to give this citation to him.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you all again.
Yes, sir. Lucille Ramus. Antone J. Ramus. Alberto Nuro. Wait. What? Because everyone said it at the same time, so I didn't get the name. Give me the name again, please. Naru. Excuse me, I apologize. But thank you so much. Well, thank you so much. Thank you very much. I apologize for that. This is an easy one. Dorothy Lopes. Dorothy Lopes.
Where's Dorothy tonight?
She's getting ready to go on vacation.
Okay. Nobody goes on vacation until after the Cape Verdean Recognition Week, okay?
That's pretty much the Edwin Livermento. Mary Easton. Stephanie Correa. John Brito. Henry Barrows.
Thank you, sir.
Valentina Almeida. Teresa Almeida. Not yet. Manuel Lopes. Manuel's the chairperson. Thank you, Dan. Thank you.
Again, to everyone, on behalf of this New Bedford City Council and especially your Cape Verdean representatives, may we have a safe and wonderful weekend. God bless everybody, and let's have some fun. And I do have a dream in my heart, and I've had this dream for some time, and I want to share it with you. I shared it about a year ago, and it's a matter of us putting some people together. You know how the Portuguese put their little Portuguese fiesta together up the north end, and then we see Day of Portugal. and we see the day of Poland, and we see this one, and we see these others there. I have a dream someday to see that kind of atmosphere within the Cape Verdean community, and that's along Acushnet Avenue, where we have stands that we set up and we serve the food, and maybe for 2 or 3 days, everybody focuses in on that community. They come, they dance to the music, they learn the culture, we share it with them. I do have a dream for that, and I want to be a part of it, but I need a lot of people to do that and for us to be successful in doing something like that. So everybody keep that in the back of your mind, and it's something that some of us younger people that have to step up and do, because many of the older folks, they're holding down everything else as tight as they possibly can, and this is not no easy thing to achieve now. I think in the early years it was much easier to get bands to come here, to get this to be here and all that. Now that all costs us a lot of money, and it's a lot of work and a lot of time committed, and I'm not going to go through the roster of those that are involved right now, but without you, this is not possible, and we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And just keep that in the back of your mind. Some of us young people, maybe we ought to get together and we possibly can pull this off. It'll be in respect to the 40 years of those those founding members and those that came long before us and those that we can share with later. Thank you.
Once again, thank you. Have a safe parade and Recognition Week. And again, Brian, you know, I agree with you. I think your dream can become a reality so long as we all work together. Thank you, Marianne, for all you do, and all the committee members for making this a wonderful event. Thank you.
Let us stand as we retire the flag, and then join us for the reception.
day is a brand new journey of discovery for your baby. And when that journey is by car, the latch system will help keep them safe. Anchor, tether, latch. It's easier and makes your car seats secure. So your baby's journeys will be safe and sure. To learn more, visit safercar.gov.
I got no pulse, we're losing him.
Sergeant, he's in VFib.
Shock him.
Drives it around all the time. Just had a few drinks. This can't be happening.
Are we clear?
Clear.
You just buzzed.
Just buzzed. You didn't tell us that, sir. You're right, this isn't happening. He'll be fine. I feel good.
Really?
No, not really.
Buzz driving.
Clear.
Maybe we should stop acting like it's no big deal.
Shock him.
Check out this chef, right?
So gay.
Please don't say that. It's like if I thought this pepper shaker was stupid and I said, man, this pepper shaker is so 16-year-old boy with a cheesy mustache. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
You ever think about buying a bigger place?
Just waiting for a visit from the credit fairy.
There is no credit fairy.
How else will I get a better credit score?
Look, you keep your credit card balances low and only open a new card if you really need it.
No fairy?
There's no magic to improving your credit, but there's help, and it's free. Go to creditfairy.org.
Hi, how are you doing today?
What looks good?
Our special today is shrimp scampi. It's been sitting around for about a week.
Excuse me. What time are you guys leaving? We're gonna rob your house tonight.
Don't you wish there were warnings to protect you from life's risks? With diabetes, there is one. It's called A1C, a simple blood test that helps measure your risk of serious complications. Learn more at diabetesaonc.org.
When life's this hard, graduating can be even harder. But you can help Ativa and the students in your community make it through by visiting boostup.org.